So in this problem, we're told to evaluate the indefinite integral u c for the constant of integration of the integral of e the tan of 19x times the secant squared of 19x dx. So the first thing that we have to do, since we're using u substitution, decide what our u is going to be. So in this case, we have e to the tan of 19x, and if we set u equal tan of 19x, the derivative of tangent is secant squared. So it looks like that could cancel. So let's set u to be equal to the tan of 19x. So the next thing we have to do is take the derivative of u, right? So the derivative of tan of 19x. So we have to use the chain rule, right? So the derivative of tangent is secant squared. And then we're doing with respect to our inside, so 19x. Then we multiply by the derivative of our inside, so times 19. So it becomes 19 times the secant squared of 19x. So now that we got that, what we got to do is add dx at the end. Always got to add that. And then we got to solve for the dx. And we can do that by just dividing both sides by the 19 of secant squared 19x, right? So divide both sides by that. And if you do that, you should get dx equals du divided by 19 secant squared of 19x. So the next thing we want to do is rewrite our integral, but we're going to replace the tan of 19x with u, right? So we're going to have e to the u, because we're replacing it, and then we multiply, or then, yeah, we're multiplying by secant squared of 19x, and then we got to replace dx with what we solved it for, so du over 19 times the secant squared of 19x. And then what you should notice here is that the secant squared of 19x cancels with this one, right? So those will cancel, and then we can move the 1 over 19 out front. So I'm going to rewrite the integral as 1 over 19, right, because we move this out front, times e to the u du. And so now that we've got that, what we want to do is find the antiderivative of the function on the inside. So the derivative of e to the u is just e to the u, right? So it doesn't change. So the antiderivative is the same thing. So it's just going to be 1 over 19 times e to the u. Then we got to add plus c, right? For since we're integrating or taking the antiderivative. Then what we do is for our final answer, we're just going to replace our u with what we set u to be, which is tan of 19x. It's going to be 1 over 19 times e raised to the tan of 19x. Then we got to add the plus c. So this right here is going to be our final answer.